A woman checks her bank account on a Tuesday morning. Her balance is $1.70. Not because she did not work, not because she spent carelessly. Her paycheck was delayed by 2 business days. In those 2 days, 3 small automatic charges went through: a gym membership, a streaming service, a grocery delivery. 3 overdraft fees at $35 each. At many institutions, $105 gone before her money even arrived. She called the bank. The automated system had no record of her 2 years of consistent direct deposits. It only knew one thing: her balance was negative. Everything else followed from that. Here's what you need to understand about that story. It is not an accident. It is not a mistake. It is a feature. Your bank treats you differently based on exactly one thing: how much money you have. And the less you have, the more they take. Today, we are going inside that system at every level. From the person with $1.70 in their account, all the way to the person with $5 million. And by the end of this video, you will have 3 specific moves to get better treatment from your bank, starting this week. Welcome to Fin Finance. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe and tap the bell. Every single week, we publish videos built around one goal: giving you real financial knowledge that actually changes what you do with your money. Today, we are exposing how the banking system really works. Not the version in the advertisement, the real version, where your balance determines everything, and where the same institution treats 2 of its customers like they walked into 2 completely different banks. Let us get into it. Let us start at the bottom, because this is where most people begin and where the system is most expensive. Your account goes negative, maybe by $4, maybe by $40. The number almost does not matter. What matters is what happens next. The overdraft fee activates automatically within hours. At major US banks that still charge full fees, that number reaches $35 per transaction. And here's the part that makes this genuinely painful. Only 7% of accounts overdraft 10 or more times per year. Yet that small group generates approximately 75% of all overdraft fee revenue. The same people, paying, over and over. In 2024 alone, US consumers paid $12.1 billion in overdraft and non-sufficient funds fees. Think about what that number actually means. $12.1 billion taken from the people who could least afford to give it. Automatically. Without a conversation. Without someone asking if you needed help. Because the system does not ask if you need help at this level. It charges. You cannot get a credit card here. You cannot get a loan here. You cannot get a phone call from someone who actually wants to help you. What you get is automated. A fee assessed by a system that does not know your name, does not know your paycheck was 2 days late, and does not know that the charge was a subscription you forgot to cancel 6 months ago. The system knows one thing about you: your balance is negative. Everything else follows from that. You are not a customer at this level. You are a cost the bank is trying to recover. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. And I mean genuinely surprising even for people who consider themselves financially aware. Pull the account back from negative and you move into the next level. You have $200, sometimes $400, occasionally $600 before the rent goes out and it drops again. You are not overdrawn, but you are in the category of accounts the bank services without valuing. The monthly maintenance fee arrives automatically. $12 or $15 withdrawn because your average daily balance did not meet the minimum requirement. The minimum is usually $1,500, sometimes $500, depending on the institution. If you had $1,500 sitting untouched, the fee would disappear. But because you do not, it stays. You are paying the bank to hold your money. and your savings account earns approximately 0.01% annually at this level, while the bank lends your deposits out at 7 to 24% interest, depending on the product. Here's the real math of that. For every $1,000 you keep in your account, the bank earns potentially $70 to $240 per year from lending it. They pay you 10 cents. The service you receive here is not hostile. It is indifferent. There is no relationship. There is a transaction. And that distinction will matter a great deal by the end of this video. Stay with me because what happens next is where most people have no idea the system even exists. Something changes when your income becomes consistent. Your direct deposit hits reliably every 2 weeks. The bank notices, not with a phone call, not with congratulations, but algorithmically. The pattern of your account shifts from irregular and low to consistent and moderate, and the system responds. The credit card offers start arriving. Real credit cards, not secured cards requiring your own money as collateral. The monthly maintenance fees disappear because your direct deposit now qualifies you for a fee waiver. You apply for a small loan and it gets approved. For the first time, the bank functions the way people describe banks in stories. You needed something. You applied. You were approved. You are now a recognized customer. Not precious, not a priority, but recognized. The bank wants to keep you now because you are generating revenue through your card usage, your loan interest, and your growing balance they are lending out at a spread. You matter to them, in the way a customer matters to any business, which means you matter as long as you are profitable, and you would be replaced without ceremony if you left. Here is the part that should change the way you think about every financial decision going forward. Now something more significant happens. Your savings account reaches $18,000. Your investment account holds another $22,000. Your credit card gets paid off every month. The credit limit increases start happening without you asking. Your limit goes from $4,000 to $9,500, then to $14,000. The bank is extending you more because your history shows you do not need it. When you finance a car this time, the rate the bank offers is 6.8% instead of 11%. Not because they like you more as a person, because your profile has shifted the risk calculation in their favor. And here is the quiet power inside that number. The difference between an 11% rate and a 6.8% rate on a $35,000 car loan is approximately $4,800 over the life of the loan. Same car, same person, different balance history. $4,800 difference. Better rates mean you pay less for the same things. Paying less means more capital stays in your hands. More capital builds faster than less capital does. The system begins to tilt quietly in your favor at the level of basis points and approval rates. And if you told your bank you were considering moving your account somewhere else, someone would make you an offer to stay. That is a completely different experience from the automated indifference of level 2. It is not intimacy, but it is the beginning of leverage. Above $150,000 in combined assets, the phone line is different. There is a priority queue. Hold times are shorter. The person who answers has more authority to waive fees and make exceptions without escalating. A dedicated banker is sometimes assigned, a named contact, someone who emails you directly and calls to check in. Above $500,000 in investable assets, wealth management is offered. The conversations change entirely. You are no longer being sold products. You are being consulted. Someone is asking about your goals, your timeline, your family situation. Above $5 million, the rules themselves begin to apply differently. Not because the laws change, because banks have discretion built into their internal policies, and that discretion is exercised in favor of accounts that generate significant revenue. Fees that technically apply are routinely waived without being asked. Exceptions that require approval are approved before they are formally requested. The automated system that charged a woman $105 because her paycheck was 2 days late, that same institution, at this level, is now human, attentive, and oriented toward yes. Same building, same logo, completely different institution. I am going to give you 3 specific moves right now that start shifting this in your favor, no matter where you are in this system today. Move 1. Eliminate your monthly maintenance fee today. Call your bank right now and ask one question. What is the minimum direct deposit amount required to waive my monthly fee? At Bank of America, that threshold is just $250 in monthly direct deposits, one of the lowest among major banks. Most people are paying $12 to $15 per month, $144 to $180 per year, for a fee that disappears with a single phone call and a direct deposit update. Contact your HR department this week and update your direct deposit information. The fee is gone, permanently. Move 2. Call and request a fee waiver using this exact script. Call your bank's customer service line and say this word for word. I have been a customer for years and I was charged an overdraft fee. I would like to request a courtesy waiver. This is not something that happens regularly on my account. Banks waive overdraft fees in response to this request far more often than people realize. The automated system charged you. A human can undo it. One phone call, 4 minutes, potentially $27 to $35 back in your account today. Move 3. Find out your bank's balance threshold for better treatment. Every bank has internal tiers. Ask directly, what balance level qualifies me for your next service tier? This is information they will give you. Then make that number your savings target. Even moving from $200 to $1,500 in your checking account eliminates the monthly fee and changes your classification inside their system. You do not need $500,000 to get meaningfully better treatment from your bank. You need to know the thresholds and work toward them deliberately. The banking system was built with tiers. The woman with $1.70 in her account and the person with $5 million in assets are both customers of the same institution. They are not treated like the same customer. And understanding that is not something to be angry about. It is something to use. Now you see the system clearly. You know how it works at every level. And you have 3 specific moves to start shifting it in your favor this week. If this video showed you something real, subscribe to FinFinance and tap the bell icon.